Prato da Casa.
Hello, my name is Rick Resendes, and welcome to another segment of Prato da Casa. Today, we're going to be doing a beautiful piece of picanha. First, we're going to do is we're going to basically take off any of the extra fat that we don't need and just kind of clean up the picanha. Try to get underneath it, slowly bring it across, take off any of the extra fat. And we're gonna leave this big one on here. It's gonna actually help with the seasoning of it, keeping the flavors inside, and it's gonna provide a little bit more of a shelter for not burning the meat itself. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly score it, so that way when it starts to cook on the barbecue, it will open up and let the juices kind of flare in there. We're gonna put it over here to the side. We're gonna bring some garlic, some fresh garlic, just kind of cut it up. Okay, so once you have it like that, I grab a smaller knife. It doesn't have to be very big. You're just basically making a little hole, breaking the surface of the meat, and then just stuff the garlic right in. So once you stuff it in, go to the next one. Same idea, just stuff it in. So we have our onion, our garlic inside the picanha. Now we're gonna actually create our season. Inside a nice bowl, we're gonna mix all our ingredients. And so I have about 3 tablespoons of garlic powder, 3 tablespoons of onion powder, 3 tablespoons of salt, 3 tablespoons of black pepper, about 1.5 tablespoons of parsley, 2 tablespoons of paprika, and a teaspoon of chili powder. Now, if you like a little more spicy, you can add a little bit more if you like. Once you have it in there, you're basically just gonna mix it all up. Now, to have the dry rub actually stick to the picanha, some people like to use olive oil. I like to use homegrown maple syrup. You just basically drizzle it on, massage it nicely into the picanha. So you're gonna start to kind of go all over with it. Once you have it kind of drizzled, just kind of pat it in. And you wanna get it, cover every area, all the area of the picanha. So we have our picanha ready to go onto the barbecue. And I've preheated the barbecue to about 270 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're gonna put this in indirect heat, which means we're gonna put this away from the flame and we're gonna let it slow cook, again, for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. We're gonna put it with the fat down to start. Okay, so we're 30 minutes into our cook time with the picanha on the barbecue of indirect heat. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go to the barbecue and I'm gonna bring a little bit of apple juice in a spray bottle. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a spray, just to add a little extra sweetness, a little bit of flavor to it. And I'm just gonna do a couple squirts. Okay, so we've been cooking now for 1.5 hours. I'm gonna check my meat with my thermometer. And we should be about 122, 123. We're gonna put it right in the middle of the picanha. And it's reading at about 124. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually raise the flame on the barbecue. And we're gonna give the picanha a nice little sear on 2 sides. So we're pretty much done here. And we're gonna take this off and we're gonna bring it over to the cutting board and we're gonna let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now for the sides, use a sweet potato. Now I had a sweet potato cooking in here for about 10 minutes in water, brought it to a boil. It's about 10 minutes, it's really soft. And I like to do 2 different styles. Smaller one, basically I like to do is just give it a cut. You put those aside. The bigger one, I like to actually make big chunks, about 3/4 of an inch. Now, the more people you have, the more potato you can do. And what I like to do is just to kind of have it here, but I'll put these ones on here. And I'll drizzle on olive oil, just natural olive oil. Basically, just kind of brush it on. Okay, a little bit of pepper. I like pepper that you kind of grind and kind of, so it has a lot of flavors as it kind of grinds and puts it onto the sweet potato. A little bit of salt. You don't need too much. So you just kind of sprinkle a little bit on there. If you have a little bit on your hands, you kind of just do it with your hand. I'm gonna put that to the side. Now with these smaller ones, what I like to do is take a pepper. Cut it in half. And then you just clean it out. In the bowl, we're basically putting the sweet potato inside. A little bit of olive oil. A little bit of salt. Pepper. Then I like to smash it up. So basically I'm gonna make it a little bit of a smash. And once you have it kind of mashed up, I like to stuff it. And I'll stuff the pepper with the sweet potato. Kind of gives a little bit of a decoration as well. Nice colors. You can use any color pepper. And once you have it stuffed, we're gonna basically use mozzarella cheese. And what I like to do is just kind of pack it in there. Once you have it ready to go, we're gonna basically put this on the barbecue. And we're gonna give it a little bit of a barbecue to it. And that's gonna be our sides. We got the grates nice and hot. We're gonna let that cook a few minutes. That's all it needs is a few minutes. And we're gonna plate it. So now with the meat, we're actually gonna cut against the grain. We have the grain kind of going on this angle, and we're gonna cut on a grain this way. What I like to try to do is cut, obviously at this part here is a thinner part. This will be more well done. As we get to the middle, it'll be more medium. So and I like to kind of keep my pieces about an inch and a half. And you can see it's cutting really nice. And look at that color, just really nice color. And you can see where the garlic was stuffed. You can see where it's kind of nicely still there, and it's kind of softened, and it's released the flavors and the smell into the meat. You can see the meat just really coming out nicely done. Basically, then we're gonna plate it. So I like my steaks like a little bit more medium well, or medium rare. So I'm gonna put 2 there, nicely done. A couple of nice potatoes, and then a nice pepper that's stuffed. And there we go. We have a beautiful slow roasted picanha with a side sweet potato, and all done on the barbecue, and it's easy to do.